So I'm going to be going on a little adventure, so I thought that I would bring y'all along with me. I'm going to be flying with my service dog to go see my grandma. Now, I have flown with my service dog twice before, so I know a little bit about what it's like, and I thought that I would share with y'all kind of the whole process of preparing, the paperwork, what I'm going to be bringing on the plane with my dog, and then in the last part of this video will be us in the airport and getting on the flight. So let's get started. The first very important thing that you need to do is you need to fill out the Department of Transportation Service Animal Transportation form, the DOT DOT form. So here I have my DOT form all filled out, printed out, so that I can have it with me at check-in and present it to the people at the counter. I'm not going to show y'all my form because it has my information on it, but I will post a little picture up here with the form there so that you can kind of follow along with me as I go through this form. So, on this form, it's going to ask you who's the handler of the dog. It's going to ask you for your phone number, a little bit about your dog. You need to state the breed of your dog, the color of your dog, as well as how much your dog weighs. It's going to ask you if your dog is vaccinated for the rabies shot. It's going to ask you when it was vaccinated, so the date you got the shot, and then the date that the shot will expire. It wants to make sure that your dog does not have fleas or any kind of disease that will endanger other passengers or other animals on board. It's going to ask you for the name of your veterinarian as well as their phone number, but it does not require a signature from your veterinarian. It wants to make sure that your dog is a task-trained service dog, trained to perform tasks to mitigate your disability. It asks for the name of the trainer or organization of your dog, so I have the trainer who helped me train my dog as well as his phone number. If you self-trained your dog, you would just put yourself down as the trainer and your phone number down. It asks if your dog has been trained to behave in a public setting, and basically tells you, you know, my dog needs to remain under control. If it is out of control in any way, barking, lunging, scratching, obsessive whining, being obnoxious, it wants to make sure you understand that those behaviors may lead to the denial of your boarding the plane with your dog. They will not let you board the plane with your dog if they are out of control or disrupting the public in any way. So you do need to have the entire form filled out, and the date on the form needs to be the date you bought the ticket, or any time from the time you bought the ticket to the time of your flight. So like this form here is an old form. I got this form last year for my flight, so obviously this form is no longer valid for my upcoming flight. So I had to fill out a new form and date it the day I bought the ticket, or any day after I bought the ticket before the flight. So you need to have that printed out. It's good to have a couple copies with you just in case you lose one, or if they decide to keep a copy. But yeah, that's that. Another thing that it might be a good idea to have with you, although it's not required, is a list of your dog's vaccination records, which I have right here, but I will not show you because it has my information on it. You're not required to show this information, but in the case that somebody gives you an issue, it's just so much easier just to pull it out, show the paperwork, and not have to sit there and argue for an hour before your flight. Another thing that I have here with me is my doctor's note from my doctor prescribing me a service dog. Now, that is also not required to be shown when you are flying with your dog, but it's also a good idea if you have one to bring it with you just in case you run into any issues. Now I'm going to show y'all what I will be bringing on the plane for my dog. So this here is what my dog will be wearing. This is a Cozy Horse saddlebag from Etsy. and it's got pockets that I can put all of her stuff in. So here in this pocket, I will be sticking all of my paperwork in there so that it's easy for me to grab and it's always with me. On this side here, I've got a food bowl, as well as my driver's license and my IDs and all that in here. Another thing that I will be bringing on the plane is a treat pouch. An airport is a very distracting environment. Dallas does great, but I always like to have treats on me to reward her for her good behavior, or just in case we run into a distracting situation where there's a dog barking at us. So I have treats on me all the time. The treats that I have in here are these treats. I got them off Amazon. I have 5 bags of this kind of treat. Each of the bags are different flavors because she gets bored of the same flavors, so I just put a little handful of each flavor in here, and that's what we use for our treats. Another good thing to have with you is a bag of dog food. If you do get a flight delayed or canceled and you end up being stuck there overnight, you want to make sure that you have food to feed your dog. So that's always a good thing to bring with you. Make sure you carry it on the plane. Do not check it with your bag, because then it won't be available to you. But that is all that I will be bringing to the airport with me for my dog. Something that I want to talk a little bit about is some expectations that service dogs should be able to meet when going to an airport and flying on an airplane. So all trained service dogs should be trained in public access if they are going to be accompanying their handler into the airport or anywhere in public, meaning they are under control at all times. They are able to provide their tasks while in public in distracting environments. They are not disruptive, they are not aggressive, they do not have accidents, they are potty trained, although keep in mind that mistakes happen. It's normal for a dog to make a mistake, and that's okay as long as it's not constant mistakes. One thing that I did have to do in my last airport trip is going through security. I had to strip Dallas down naked, meaning that oftentimes when you go through security with your dog, you are going to have to take their vest off, their collar off, and their leash, and they are just going to be naked, and they're going to need to behave and be under control. You are probably going to have to do some off-leash work with your dog while going through security. What I did was I put Dallas in a sit-stay, and I walked through the metal detector, and then I had to call her to come with me. And after that, I had to go and grab all of my things from the little box that went through the x-ray machine. So what I did is I put Dallas in a sit-stay over kind of by the wall while I went to go grab my things and brought them back with me. During that time where I was not with her, she did stay where she was supposed to stay. She didn't get up, she didn't get distracted, although there were people who were walking by and petting her and distracting her. So that is a very important thing. Even if your dog is not trained to constantly do off-leash work, it is very important that your dog is able to do that, just in case it is necessary while you're in the airport or anywhere else. But that is all the information that I have for you right now. The next part of this vlog is just going to be us going to the airport and boarding the plane. Hey everyone, Future Bree here. So while editing this video, I realized that it was getting quite lengthy, so I'm going to make a part 2. I will not have the rest of the flying video in this vlog. This vlog will be separate. Subscribe and look forward to seeing the next vlog where we are in the airport going through security and boarding the plane.